Hi everybody, and welcome to my tutorial on the basics of playing piano. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you what you need to know as a beginner about piano keys, chord structure, fingering techniques, and a lot of other useful tips. If you just started playing piano, or are considering taking piano lessons soon, you might feel discouraged by all that you have to learn. Reading music and coordinating your fingers at the same time can be a daunting task for anybody. Let me tell you that I understand exactly what you're going through. I was a beginner once, just like everybody who gets to be good at playing piano. My best advice to you is to not give up. Keep practicing every day, or at least every other day, and you'll see the results sooner than you think. And also, let me tell you that being able to play the piano is worth all of the practice. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to play a lot of beautiful songs, and be proud of your new wonderful talent. Just imagine coming home after a long day and sitting at your piano to relax with your favorite songs. Or think of the happy faces of your friends and family as they hear you play popular tunes perfectly. Learning how to play piano isn't easy, but it doesn't mean it can't be fun. I think the best decision you can take as a beginner, to make sure you get over the learning curve quickly and enjoy it, is to find a good guide written by an experienced teacher. Without the right guidance, you run the risk of giving up because your progress will be slow. Some people decide to learn with a teacher, and that's fine, but you can also learn on your own, and a lot of people do it. Either way, you will need a clear and easy-to-follow guide, especially designed for beginners, to have at your side whenever you want to practice. I want to recommend a guide I discovered some time ago that has a lot of tips for beginners and has easy lessons to help you gain dexterity and speed very quickly. I included the link in the video description, so check it out now or after you watch this video, and you can even start practicing today. Now I want to go ahead with the tips I prepared for you today and start by telling you about, number 1, the general structure of the piano. There are 86 keys on a piano. While the names of the keys are repeated from C to C over and over again, they all make different sounds. The sounds get even more varied when you use the 3 different pedals on the piano. When you first start playing piano, I suggest messing with the pedals for a while, just playing random notes so you start noticing what they all sound like when played with different pressures on the different pedals. The other thing to learn immediately is number 2, chord structure. Chord structure is important because it helps to build the harmony you hear when a person plays the piano. Chord structures are fairly simple to understand. Starting with middle C, you will play the C, E, and G keys to create your first chord. Typically, chords are taught after you have learned to run the 5-finger scale. I advise you to start with one hand so that you'll understand the concept of using the right fingers to push the keys, then practice with the other hand, and after you get a handle on it, you can try playing with both hands at the same time. One of the most difficult tasks when learning to play the piano is number 3, reading music. Learning to read music may seem like an impossible task, but don't worry. Everybody feels like that in the beginning, and it's actually not as complicated as it seems. Start by learning the name of the keys on the keyboard before you begin playing. It seems confusing at first, but don't worry. After you learn just a few rules, it'll become much simpler. There are 7 different notes in the white keys: C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. There are also flats and sharps in between them. Remember that all of these notes are equivalent. Black keys aren't different from the white keys, they're just arranged that way, and are called something different to make it easier to find notes on the piano and to write music. Don't worry too much about flats and sharps just yet. Just memorize those 7 basic keys, and that'll be enough to start with. It's critical when learning how to play piano that you always know where middle C is, and how to run a 5-finger scale up to G. After you've accomplished learning the first 5 fingers, you can begin to use both hands to run a simple 5-finger scale starting from C and going to G. You might ask, is theory really important? Can't I just learn some songs without going into music theory? Number 4, theory is very important. You could try to learn some songs mechanically, but it will take forever every time you want to learn a new song, and you won't actually know how to play the piano. Most theory isn't as confusing as it seems in the beginning, trust me. Once you learn just a few things, it actually makes playing much more fun. After learning a bit of theory, you'll be able to start improvising, for example. And after a while, you'll also be able to play songs just by looking at the music sheets without even practicing them before. Or imagine you're at a party and someone makes a request for a song and you're able to play it immediately because you know music theory and can play by ear. Another basic to learn is number 5, fingering techniques. In the beginning, understanding that you have to use certain fingers on certain keys is sometimes difficult to grasp, and it can feel unnatural. The reason you must use certain fingers is that your other fingers are free to play the next notes more easily. If you use your right thumb to play a note, and you next have to hit a key 5 keys to the left, it'll be hard to do that quickly. If you use your pinky finger to hit the first note, then it'll be easy to use your index finger, or thumb, to hit the second note. So fingering is all about agility. Don't worry, you'll catch on fast. Beginner's lessons typically teach that all your fingers have a number. Most theory books make sure that they use numbers above the notes so you know what finger you're supposed to use for what key at any given time. A common misconception is that your hands have to be a certain size in order to play the piano. This is far from the truth. I started playing at a very young age, and my hands were very small. A child and an adult can play the piano just as well. All it takes is practice to get dexterity and speed. Number 6, playing one-handed tunes. You should start by learning easy tunes that only involve playing with one hand. There are a variety of books and guides for beginners, and what they all have in common is the recommendation to start by playing one-handed tunes. This is done to help you develop hand-eye coordination. You can't watch your hands the entire time you play, especially if you're reading music. Therefore, your brain and hands have to learn to work together to create the music. When you're learning songs that require 2 hands to play, it's also always best to learn the music for one hand at a time. Learning a few bars for one hand and learn them well, then learn a few bars for the other hand and learn them well, and then learn to put them together. Remember that one step at a time is the best way to learn. If you find yourself getting frustrated, just break down what you're learning into simpler chunks. The last piece of advice I want to give you today is also the most important one. Number 7, practice, practice, practice. The truth is that learning to play piano takes a lot of practice. You have to be willing to put in the time if you want to see progress in your playing. But don't think of it as a painful task. Practicing can and should be fun. Remember that you're doing this to become a good piano player. Think of the day when you're able to touch people's hearts with beautiful songs. If you want to, you'll even be able to compose your own songs. And imagine being the star of a party and bringing people together around a piano for a sing-along that everyone will remember. You can learn how to play piano just to have a great hobby, or maybe you want to be a professional piano player. Either way, everyone has to go through the learning curve. Make it fun and easy with the right guidance. Even if you decide to get a piano teacher, he or she will not be by your side every time you want to practice. The guide I'm recommending to you can be used very well to learn piano on your own. Or you can use it alongside your piano lessons with a teacher to help you advance faster. It has easy tips and lessons and fun exercises. Check out the link and get on your way to playing one of the best instruments in the world. Now start playing as soon as possible, even today. The more you delay, the longer it'll take for you to get the wonderful benefits of playing piano. If you've been thinking about it for a while, or you've just started learning but haven't put too much time into it, change that right now. You have all the information you need at the tip of your fingers. So go ahead and become the piano player you've always dreamed of becoming. Good luck to you and happy learning.